What is going on, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
We are here to make another mixtape playlist. Now, like we did in our first two metal mixtapes, we did Cinderella and Iron Maiden, and today we are going to be doing AC/DC, the Brian Johnson era. Now, yes, AC/DC is not unknown and forgotten, but a decent amount of their catalog and material is kind of forgotten or unknown because we obviously always hear the same 10 songs from AC/DC, Back in Black, Hell's Bells, For Those About the Rock, even Thunderstruck, and a couple other ones as well. Gets tiring after a while, very tiring. So let's go over to the other computer here, the iTunes computer, and find about a 90-minute playlist here of all of my favorite Brian Johnson era AC/DC songs. Alrighty, guys, we are over here in the iTunes library. We are going to be looking and seeing what we want on our 90-minute playlist or 80-minute playlist of Brian Johnson's era AC/DC. Let's go look around here. Now, obviously, nothing is probably going to make it from Back in Black because every one of those songs is overplayed, and I do not need to have any of these songs on here. Now, I will say I do like Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution as a final track. So we're gonna add that here, and if we need a outro track, one to finish off the mixtape, we will put that on here. So let us go to mixtape. All right, now next one, Ball Breaker, which I kind of like this album. I know a lot of people don't really care for it, but I think there's some good stuff on here. Now, I do really enjoy Whiskey on the Rocks. Really cool mid-tempo bluesy song. I kind of like the Fuhrer too. I want to add that. Now I want to add stuff, and we will, at the end we will put these songs in order, just like a producer would or a mixer. Just everything does need to go in order for me anyway. Like on a mixtape, when I'm listening to a CD, if I have like two or three songs that don't really fit together. Like every shit does, it has to be fluid through the album, the ups and downs. Like it an album is way better when it is laid out properly like that. No matter if it's just a mixtape or an actual album, studio album, what have you. So those are the two songs that we will take from Ball Breaker. But as I was saying, I'll just add, and then if we have anything left over as far as time wise, I'll just take off some songs and go from there. So Black Ice from 2008. Okay, I mean, the only thing I think I want on here, Smash and Grab's kind of cool. I do really like that riff here on that. Uh, what do we think? Let us Let's go with Rock and Roll Train, I think. I do like that single. All right, let's move on here. Blow Up Your Video, 1988. A lot of people don't like this album. I think it's okay. Now, the first time I listened, or like the first like year I listened to this album, I was like, this is actually really good. But as time is going on, it is getting slightly weaker. But I do enjoy it though, still. So some Sin for Nothing, I think, is my favorite song off of that album. So let us just put that there. I think for me, the Brian Johnson's vocals in the mix of this album is just kind of weird. So I think that off puts some people. So no Bon Scott era. Flick of the Switch, one of my favorite AC/DC Brian AC/DC albums. Totally overlooked, forgotten, unknown, what have you. Let's see. We want Flick of the Switch. We want Nervous Shakedown. Bedlam in Belgium is pretty cool. Badlands is a cool one too. Rise and Power. House is on Fire. I like this whole album, guys. I don't know. I'll come back to it. See what we need. I certainly will come back to it. Fly on the Wall from 1985. Another one I think gets shit on, and I don't know why. Maybe production. I don't know, or maybe AC/DC just really trying to go full mainstream sound at the time of 85. I don't know. But I will say the music videos are kind of weak, although there is like there are four singles for the music video, and they all go into like one 20-minute long movie of the music while the music's playing, which is pretty cool. I do kind of like that, but as far as like the quality and stuff, you can tell it's dated. So, Shake Your Foundations, possibly. Save the Pink. I do always enjoy when that does come on. I do like that song. Hell or High Water. Back in Business. I do like Back in Business a lot. Hell or High Water. Stand Up. I can dig Stand Up. Let's do that. All right. For those about the rock, this is an album that certainly has way more lows on it than Back in Black does, which Back in Black is a good album, no doubt. But I think the title track really sets this album up. And now the highs on this album are high, possibly higher than Back in Black, but the lows are certainly lower than Back in Black, and there's more of them. So, but nonetheless, COD, one of my favorite Brian Johnson's era songs. One of my AC/DC buddies, every time I see him, I bring up COD. He's like, "Why the fuck you keep talking about that song?" I said, "Because it's awesome." So yeah, and yeah, after some convincing, he does enjoy that song now as much as I do, pretty much. But yeah, that's like one of those songs that just don't get talked about at all. Just unknown and forgotten, and I'm happy to be talking about it right now. All right, so Power Up for 2020, the most recent album, which I absolutely think is getting stronger as time goes on. I liked it as soon as it came out, but for me, I think it's just getting way better as time goes on, and I already loved it. So, I mean, we could actually have a decent amount off of this album here on the mixtape. So, Realize, I will actually say, I think that was, if I remember correctly, that was the first single, or was Shot in the Dark the first single? I don't know. Realize was a single. I remember that. And a video, I think. And I don't think that should have been a single. I don't like that. That's probably one of my least favorite songs off this album. It's okay. Rejection, one of my favorite Brian Johnson albums, one of the best songs that they did the last 20 years. Easy. And this album's the best thing that they did the last 20 years. Easy. Oh, Shot in the Dark. Okay, I'll add that here. Through the Mist of Time, this song is actually growing on me over time, but it's not gonna make the mixtape. Kick You When You're Down. I love the solo on that. God, so good. Systems Down. I like Money Shot's good. Code Red. Oh god, I feel like System Down and Code Red are one of the same kind of. And if I take one, if I put both on, I feel like feels like it's just one of the same. I think I do like Code Red better. I'll add them both for now just to see what the time looks like. Rarities. We'll skip that. We'll skip the rarity stuff. All right, Raises Edge, Thunderstrike. Nah, don't want it. Don't need money talks. Are you ready? Okay, this is one of top 5 Brian Johnson song. I just love it. I love the atmosphere of the song. Love the build up to it. Mistress for Christmas. Pretty cool. For what it is, but certainly maybe I will make a Christmas mixtape for you guys. What, in a couple months when December rolls around. So check it out. Look out for that, because I'm sure that this song will make it. Got You by the Balls is pretty cool. I'll add it for now. That might not make it though. All right, so Rock or Bust 2014. It's okay. Really had pretty weak. Uh Rock or Bust. I do actually kind of like the title track. Rock the Blues Away, decent. Dogs of War is pretty good. I do like Dogs of War. We will add that. Let's add Rock or Bust too for now. All right, Stiff Upper Lip. Just so another one that's just okay. I mean, about half the album. I don't know if I really want anything off this. I do like Satellite Blues. I will add that, but I don't know. Who Made Who? Do not like that song. Once a year, I might listen to it, but after that, it's very kind of cheesy. Nothing really off Who Made Who, because it's basically a compilation type deal with a couple new tracks. But that's it for my Brian Johnson era of stuff. I think I have all the Brian Johnson, if I remember correctly. But anyway, let us go over here to the mixtape playlist and see what time we have. Hour and 22 minutes. So we have to take one song off because we have an 80-minute CD here, mixtape. So what is the song that we will take off? Oh, rock and roll, noise pollution. I think we could take something else off other than that because I do want that to be the last song on the album. Alrighty, so as of now, to get it under 120, I did actually add Rising Power from Flick of the Switch as well, but I did take off Dogs of War and also Stand Up from Fly on the Wall. So right now we're just gonna put these in order in the way that I like it, and the best way that I think the songs will flow and be a great 80-minute long mixtape. I'll be back in 1 second and we will have the final order here of this AC/DC Brian Johnson era mixtape. We are finally back here, guys, and we got it done. We got 20 tracks in order here of how I think they will flow the best. Now, I did go through a good amount of these, starting and ending with the songs, just see how they would flow track by track. And I think we did a pretty good job here. The only thing I will say here at the bottom, once we go through some of the tracks here, maybe a might have a different feel to it, but I think it'll work. So first and foremost, we will start with Rising Power. I just love the sinister feel of that riff just coming in, opening up the album and opening up our mixtape here. So then moving on, we got Rejection. Great, awesome song, just early and in the mix here. Moving on here to the Fuhrer. Get a little bit of a mid tempo there on the third track. Fourth track, Rock and Roll Train brings it back up in the party atmosphere again. Sink the Pink, great sing along chorus type song. Then going here to track number 6, Nervous Shakedown. Slow it down just a tad there on the mid tempo, but great song. Then we got track number 7, Are You Ready? Starts out a little slow, but builds up into the very cool arena style song. Very party like though too. At the same time, track number 8, Back in Business, and we are getting back in business here with AC/DC and Angus Young with the great guitar work on Back in Business. Then we're going to Got You by the Balls. Then back to Flick of the Switch, speed things up again here a little bit. Moving on to Shot in the Dark. Then we slow it down a little bit with Whiskey on the Rocks. And then here we go, back to having a good chorus again. Rocker Bust, Kick You When You're Down. Then bringing in the big guns with COD. Awesome song. I'm actually surprised that I put this low or like this far back into the mixtape because that's when I should be kind of up in the middle, no later than the middle ground, I would say, just because of the great energy vibes with that song. But it just flowed well down here. So, but then we move on here to Systems Down and Code Red. Now, I generally don't like to put back to back songs or songs back to back from the same album on a mixtape. But I will make an exception because Systems Down, like I said earlier, they do kind of have a little bit of the same feel to them. And I could see it as like part 1 and part 2 because, when your systems are down, you tend to have a code red. So it just kind of worked there with that. And it worked almost as good as I was expecting it to with having them side by side on this mixtape. Then we move on to Some Sin for Nothing, another great riff and song from the late 80s AC/DC. And then we just kind of go tier to Stiff Upper Lip. Something about Stiff Upper Lip with Satellite Blues, but as far as the album Stiff Upper Lip, something with the mix or the production, I don't know, it does give me a little bit of a 2000s feel, but it's still AC/DC, still has that sound. I mean, it's not nothing wrong with it, but it seems like a slightly heavier, and I don't mean like heavier metal. I mean like just feels heavy in the production. I don't know how to explain it. But then we finish off with Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. Just a really good way to end the mixtape, I think. So we got 20 full tracks. I think it's a great 20 track here. A lot of people don't even know hardly any of these songs, on this album, and that's the way I like it. And just the replayability is very high for me to want to listen to this album again after I just listened to it because of how it starts and how it finishes and everything in between. Nothing gets old and nothing is overplayed. So I'm very happy with how this turned out. And guys, let me know in the comments what songs I missed on the mixtape.
Talk to me.
And also tell me some songs that you would add to your own mixtape as well. And guys, if you enjoy what we're doing here, give this video a like. Check out some of our other videos here. We love bringing you the unknown and forgotten stuff of the metal world and bands and albums and everything. So guys, until next time, stay out of that collateral damage. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, check out the other one that just popped up on your screen right now.
Yeah, I wrote that. It's called I Want to Rock Your Body. And then in parentheses it says to the break of dawn.